Recognized. Marissa Alexander's story gained national attention when she was arrested and charged with aggravated assault in August of 2010. She had fired a single warning shot after being attacked by her then estranged husband. In August of 2012, she was sentenced to 20 years in prison under Florida's minimum mandatory sentencing policies. In 2013, an appellate court overturned her case. She was released on bail and required to stay on house arrest. Marissa eventually accepted her original plea agreement of 3 years and completed her sentence of 65 days in incarceration, followed by ankle monitor under strict probation supervision. As of January this year, she's completed the conditions of her sentence. She joins us now to tell us what's next. We welcome Marissa Alexander to the show.
Welcome. Hey, welcome to the
Very
show.
excited to have you
I've
here.
been stalking you. You hard to catch up with, let me just tell you. But we're so
Say
glad.
that out loud. I've been stalking you.
Well, they know what I mean. We family. Y'all know what I mean. But glad you're here. Welcome to the chat.
So we want to know, how do you feel now that it's all over and done with?
You know, I'm excited. Like, I'm so excited to just be able to join in the efforts of what's going on. I think this is a very important time. I think this is a very important time for women. So I'm just excited to be able to finally be off and be able to be candid and to speak and to join the efforts of what's going on. Get into a little bit of what I feel like was missing when it came to my story. So I'm excited to just be able to travel. I just came back from a cruise, which I got seasick on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little rough. Was that your first cruise?
That was my second cruise. I hadn't been on one forever, but it was pretty good just to kind of get away. But of course, that's some of the good stuff. Just being able to be with my kids and do things that I hadn't been able to do. So.
Well, while you were on house arrest, I mean, you weren't just sitting around waiting for the time to go by. You stayed busy. So what were you doing?
Well, a lot of that had to do with the fact that I wanted to make the best of that time. So one of the things that was important was I wanted to work out, because that helps me keep my mind together. So I kind of, picked up a little bit of weight eating chips and stuff every day. So, I mean, when you're incarcerated, that's the only food you have to eat. So I worked out and I worked on my book the first year, which was really cathartic. So that gave me an opportunity to kind of get out what was going on, and I didn't want to lose sight of some of those main, very important topics and stories that happened as they transpired. And then the second year, what I did was just kind of focus on starting my nonprofit and what I wanted it to look like, what it was going to mean to me, and how I was going to kind of join in the efforts that most people are. I mean, I'm not doing anything that's new. Everybody already has one, but I wanted it to be something that meant something to me.
Now, before all this happened, you actually were doing great. You were in the IT field.
Right.
And I'm sure, most people may not even realize that. They just kind of forget that you were a person, a tax-paying citizen having a real life before all this happened. And then the obvious happened. So let's fast forward and talk about where you are now. You've stated that you kind of knew that because you are a convicted felon, that you would have a challenge finding a job. So you kind of made lemonade out of lemons, which is why I wore my shirt today in honor of that. She made lemonade out of those lemons she was served. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about that journey.
Well, one of the things is, I mean, I'm pretty smart. So if I wanted to go back into it, I figured I could probably do that. I just felt like once that door is shut and another opportunity presents itself, you just take advantage of it, right? So it wasn't I had no desire to go back into corporate America. I did it for 10 years. I was in IT as a field, but then I went into management and I had gotten my master's degree. And I think that's just one of the things that was lost in translation in my story, and the fact that I had just had a baby. And I think it was just easier to sell the angry black woman as opposed to telling what exactly I was about, you know what I mean? So, it was very important for me to decide at that point to say, you know what, let me figure out what is the best way to serve people, because in my old position, that's what I did. I'm a servant at heart. I like to serve people. So this would have been the best way to do so. One, by telling my story in a book that I didn't do a lot of interviews. I didn't speak a lot about it. So I was able to do that. And then another piece of that was just to use my name, because I'm just one Marissa Alexander. There are many of them. So that was the reason to make that transition.
Well, you wrote a book which has helped people after incarceration. How were you able to help people in incarceration? I can imagine you were a light for a lot of people.
That's what, I still stay in touch with a lot of people that I was locked up with. And then, you never know how you impact somebody
Yes,
just by
indeed.
being who you are, you know what I mean? And so I went into an environment where I've never been around people that was locked up, and so when you go in there, and you know, it's nothing like TV or Orange is the New Black.
I was
or
going to
any-
ask you that. Oh my
Listen.
gosh, yes. Was there a crazy eye in there?
Some of the characters and some of the stuff, you know, it was relatable. I haven't completely watched all of it or a lot of it anyway, because I was like, I lived it, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
But you know, but a lot of the times, you know, I was able to help people with writing different things when they wanted to write their judges. I would just talk to them in a positive, just try to be positive, because there's a lot of darkness in a place like that.
Oh, I could imagine.
So make phone calls to people, you name it. Write letters for people, you know, get in touch with family members for people, have my people help bond people out. Seriously, it was, you know, I did those things.
Wow.
Well, Marissa, I mean, you're obviously like turning the lemons into lemonade, so we want to hear all about your nonprofit. We do have to take a break. So right after this, we are going to learn more about Marissa Alexander and her nonprofit when we come back.
If you have questions about overtime